Hello, I am a real catfish, and in today's video I am building the pyramids from Meereen in Game of Thrones. The first thing I've done is I've gone up really high, so technically I did this the other way around, but for the video purposes what I did was I went upwards, but then I went downwards with the thing. Now each of those blocks of sandstone is 4 blocks by 4 blocks. So the idea is that you can do basically any size you want. You could do it 5 by 5, 6 by 6, 10 by 10 if you wanted to. However, because parts of these blocks are exposed, I decided to do it as a 4 by 4, except for certain areas like this one where I'm just about to build. So this one is 8 by 4. So the idea is that basically this is a platform where stuff happens, and it's just something that's just apparently different compared to what is shown on reference images compared to the rest of the pyramid. So the first thing I did was I built this first area until I got to this big wide section area, and then I filled in all of the sandstone steps just to ensure that it was all pyramidy looking, because this pyramid's a really interesting one because it's a mixture of Egyptian style and Mayan. And what I mean by that is it's got areas that have the flat Egyptian look. So the top of the pyramid here, for example, it has that flat look, but then that very top area is more Mayan looking. And then with these areas here, what I'm doing is I'm using the /fill command. So unfortunately what happened was it came to a point where the pyramid became too wide. Maybe I made this pyramid too big. That's up to me to think though. I like how big it is. It's a good size in my opinion. It's an absolutely massive pyramid. The thing is hundreds of blocks wide and hundreds of blocks tall. You'll see from the thumbnail how big it is. As you can see in this bit here, this is where I stopped being able to just /fill command it. So I had to go through and manually place every single block all the way around it, which made it a tiny bit longer. Whilst this made the process a bit longer, to be fair, I still think it's not a bad thing that it did take this tiny bit of extra time to do. As you can see, I bring it down to the floor, and you can see again with this area, I bring it down to the floor. One thing I want to try and do is learn how to get the camera so it moves. So I have seen some comments on Discord posts talking about a thing called Remix, where basically it allows you to record what you've done in Minecraft it's a mod apparently, and then you can like make patterns of like where the camera moves. And because basically what I'm doing is I'm using a dual system, so I've got one thing. So I've got my main account on my Xbox building at the minute. Sorry, no, I've got my Xbox recording at the minute, and then on my PC, that's where I'm building. And the problem is I don't know also what apps to record on a PC with. Like, I've got my Elgato, which works with my Xbox, but I have no idea if that works with a PC as well. I'm trying to look this up, trying to get more information, but this is my first proper time-lapse where I have this kind of system going on. So quickly, I filled in the sand around the side just to ensure there was sand all the way around, and as you can see, I've replaced all the sandstone with stone. This is because basically I realised on my reference images that I'd rather use stone as the block that fills in these areas. So as you can see, going down, replacing all the areas with stone. I'm also using a /fill command to fill in these areas quickly, because once again, if I was to try and do this by hand, it's going to take an absolute load of time. Whereas being able to do this with the /fill command, which obviously everyone has access to, a big thing I want to do with this is have it so that anyone could build these kind of things. And so as you can see, yes, I overshoot sometimes, but it's easy to use, and any mistakes you make can easily be fixed. You just need to either /fill air, or just go back through and just delete blocks, like you can see I do sometimes. As you can see, this is what I'm talking about when it's more Mayan. So all this grey underneath is what's meant to be there as the base structure. So what I like to think of the idea is it's meant to be this representation of how underneath things, you know, there's a structure, there's a base, you know, and it's nice to actually have that kind of idea. And then as you can see, I'm starting to fill down with the sandstone as I go down. And so this sandstone is what I was saying about as the actual fill-in, which is more Egyptian styled. So with the reference images I've been using, the front of the pyramid has this sandstone look with a stone in the middle section left completely blank, whereas around the back it's all exposed stone. And so I'm sure that George R.R. Martin made that decision within the books and also probably within the actual TV show as a kind of I've not used English for many years, but probably as some kind of English literacy thing, where the idea is it represents that from the front, this pyramid looks fabulous, it looks great, but behind closed doors or around the back, hidden behind the view of what most people see, it's exposed and it's kind of ugly. Now, I don't think the pyramid's ugly, I think the pyramid looks great, I think it looks fabulous, you know, and it's this fantastic building style. And the nice thing is, with this building style, you can actually use it with any kind of pyramid. This pyramid I've made, as I say, is gigantic, and so getting some kind of a middle ground between the lot would be the best thing you can probably do. So either have Mayan or have Egyptian style, unless you're going to try and build the Great Pyramid of Meereen, which, fair enough, the Great Pyramid of Meereen is a fantastic looking build, I can't blame you for doing it. This is an area that takes a long time to do because there's no quick and easy way to fill in the stone stairs. But as you can see, the thing is, I think it's fun for the montages to actually see the process of filling in. Like doing it, this whole process took about 9 hours in total to do. I know that because I recorded it, and oh god, 9 hours. It passes so quickly, but it's enjoyable. And the thing is, it's about the end product. Like, as I said, this is a pyramid. Like, I can never be upset about having a pyramid on a world, especially one as big as this. In the future, I'll try and do more complex builds. I think the next video I'm going to put up is going to be another city build. And that will be just discussing, basically actually building a skyscraper this time. Because in my last video, I had some comments telling me, oh, you didn't actually build a skyscraper. We wanted to see you actually build skyscrapers. You were just building roads. And you know what? Fair enough. I get that. The reason I did that was the idea was behind in my head was every other time I thought of YouTubers that discuss how they start a city, they always start with a road. Right, so quickly with this, I then used the structure blocks because basically I didn't want to have to keep redoing the sandstone like I did with the other side, so I tried to cheat and tried to go a bit quicker. But the problem was with that I realised now is I didn't quite know where to put the fill block. And so what I ended up having to do was I first of all messed it up and destroyed that corner of the pyramid, and then you can see on the distance that I messed up the center area. So I quickly go back through, I empty the center area, I then clear down these areas just because I can, I then quickly add that area, and then I work out how to do it properly. So it took a bit more effort, but finally I actually have that pyramid added back in again, and it was just so nice to get it back. And as you can see, I faffed about, but I then switched it around so it worked. And then in my head, I looked at this part and I was like, huh, why is this not filled in? And so I quickly fill in this area, and then in just a moment, I go back into the pyramid, and I realise here as well that it's not quite as wide as it should be. And so, as I said, I go back into the pyramid in a second, and I refill some structure blocks, and then I come back through, and then it starts filling in the sandstone, just to be sure that it was definitely filled in properly. Any minute now. In just a second. There you go. So as you can see, that's now the front section done. I then quickly go through and I refill in the sandstone on the areas that lost it. And then this is an area where I start filling in the bottom, because around the bottom of the pyramid it still has this sandstone effect. So technically at eye level it's still sandstone, it's just the areas where people aren't looking that aren't as sandstoned. Except for the actual top of the pyramid where it is sandstone all around. So I assume that's where the wealthy are, that's where the people that have the money in the city of Meereen in Game of Thrones live. You know, that's where the rulers are, that kind of thing. As you can see, I copy and pasted what I did, so it just makes it that little bit quicker for the fill-in process. I'm sure to go around the corner to make sure that this is all filled in nicely. I then realised I've made that one there too high. So what I do is I go back through and I delete all of it that was too high, and then I go back in, and because there's no easy way to fill in this, I then go through and do what I had been doing previously, where I fill in from side to side to ensure that all the sandstone is filled in properly. As I say, this part there's no easy way out of, which was sad, but to be fair, it adds once again to the montage. It's not just being filled in, it's quite nice to look at. Next, I then start looking at the entrance. So originally, I was going to do a ramp that was 6 long, and then what it was going to be was basically 3 and then 3 slabs, 3 slabs, 3 slabs. But then I realised that was a bit too long for what I was after, so I decided to go with 2 by 2. So 2 slabs, 2 block, 2 slabs, 2 block. And what this has allowed me to do then is make it so it's a bit tighter with the actual build, because I don't want it to be obnoxiously big. The pyramid itself, it might be too big, it might be too small. It probably is too big, personally, but in terms of absolute scale, I think it's a fantastic looking build, and I think it's one of those imposing builds that when you go into it, it looks great. Now, in a future video, I could go through and discuss how I would personally decorate the area inside. Apparently, this pyramid has 33 floors, so within it, it's quite clear that most of it is structure, and then there is obviously pyramid within it that allows for areas for people to go, but the majority of this pyramid apparently is just structural. So in this part, I'm then going through and filling in detail in the front area, just so you have an idea. But a big problem I have with the Xbox version of Minecraft is I can't see the full pyramid, which is just sad. And in this area here, I just go through and just fill in the back area. So this is just a quick flyby, just to get an idea of the size and scale. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. As I say, this build took like 9 hours to do, and any comments, any likes would be most appreciated. If you have an idea for how I could actually record properly again, that'd be fabulous and most helpful. But at this minute, this is what I have and this is what I'm doing with, so I'm trying my best. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much.